Stop!
On today's episode, we are going to be doing BleepinJeep VERSUS. He invited us out to his neck of the woods to do a little wheeling in some kind of junky Jeeps. So Matt, tell us a little bit about this BleepinJeep VERSUS thing that you're doing.
So VERSUS is where I buy two crapped out Jeeps that do not even belong on the road or the trail, and then we take them up or down some of the hardest wheeling in the country. It's basically that simple.
So all of this is happening on Trail 15, right?
Yeah, Trail 15 at Windrock. It's a very tough double black diamond trail, and these Jeeps do not belong there at all.
Well, let's get out there on the trail. All right, I am out here in this beautiful loaner Jeep. We are at the BleepinJeep VERSUS. He's loaning me this Jeep because he wants to see if I can take this down the trail and beat his time in the So Girl. And he's going to be driving that one. We're going to compare our times. So if you've ever seen the BleepinJeep VERSUS, you know that after they do the versus, this vehicle versus that one, the contestant, the guest contestant, which is me, gets to drive their own vehicle up the trail and put their own time on the board. I've done it before in the Comanche, and then I'm like, I've got to bring the Morrvair out here and do this. So we're going to be taking the Morrvair up the trail. We're going to be putting a time on the board. The time's going down. I've already been down this. I know how rough it can be, and I think I might have should have done some stretches. Are you in 4 low right now?
I think so.
So these vehicles, it doesn't look like you've done any prep work to these vehicles to make them worthy to do this trail. Is that true?
Absolutely nothing. We've just bought them super cheap and took them out there and said, okay, let's go.
Well, especially in the case of this one, it didn't have a functioning passenger seatbelt, which was a surprise to both of us.
We would have got you a ratchet strap had you asked.
Yeah. Instead, I signed a waiver. And another thing that's not so obvious about this Jeep is every single body mount is rusted. You can poke your finger through it. I did not expect the tub to stay on this Jeep.
I was expecting it to fall off at any moment down the trail, and hopefully we stayed with it and didn't go with the frame.
So you're going to love this part. Check this out. Oh, crap.
Are you okay?
Yes. Chosen incorrectly.
Oh! I'm watching.
don't roll us. Do it again. Do it again.
More gas. More gas. Woo! Time. Yes. Good job. We're alive. We almost rolled twice right there.
Right there. Oh.
Victory pie.
So how many times did we just about go over sideways frontwards there?
I think we went almost over 3 times that I recall. But hey, that was better than the amount of rollovers that happened on this next one.
So the whole time, if you watch this video, I'm in survival mode, and you'll watch me creep closer and closer to the middle of the Jeep, hanging on to whatever I think is strong enough and secure enough to hold me in there.
He passed and Tucker was filming and he said, he was in your lap whenever you guys passed. I think it was true. You were in my lap at one point.
So that was the craziest ride I've ever had on Trail 15, but it's not as crazy as the ride that's about to come up. It's showtime.
What's your plan here?
I'm gonna drive that thing super fast down that hill.
Okay, so no plan. Coming out the top.
Where's the strap? Dang it. Okay. All right. Well, I sent it a little too hard. I thought I could drive it and steer into it, and there was just no go. It just went.
I jumped to that tree.
Okay.
Here's where I think it'll go, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I push it from there, it goes.
That doesn't sound good.
Come here, man.
It's good.
It's good. You're good.
There's nothing wrong.
Well, that's my first Jeeping rollover.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm glad you could be here for it.
I'm happy that you were able to do it with something that wasn't yours.
Yeah. Your first Jeep rollover in a rental Jeep.
In a rental.
So if you watch really closely, as I come hopping down those ledges.
You didn't even care. You were just like, it's a rental. I'll just go. Bah, bah, bah.
Hey, I wanted to put down a good time. But you can see on the very last one of the, you can hear and see the front wheels just. And that is the exact moment that the steering box broke off the frame. And what that means is zero input from the steering wheel.
You didn't know it at the time.
No, I didn't know it. But anyway, so then as I'm pulling forward, here's where I get to make excuses for myself as to why what happened. So the front end of that thing was loose anyway, before we got in there. I think there was one bolt or something, because it was wandering when we were up on top on the flat ground. But when we got down there, and it starts to drive up that tree, and I didn't realize Hope was saying stop, stop, because that was the time that we needed to stop all the time. I'm just like, what are they panicked about? I'm just going to turn to the left and gas it, and we won't roll. And so I turned to the left and gassed it and continued to drive up that tree and lay it on its side.
I said, stop, stop. He says, why? Kabang! Okay. Why are they laughing so hard? Oh, it's more than struggle. Look at that.
Struggle's not the right word.
Yeah, point your camera right there.
There's one bolt left out of 3.
Okay, we're just going to have to nurse this old girl out of here. That's what we wanted right there.
So right there on the left, there's a little bypass, and so I thought Matt's turning around, he's gonna try to take the bypass, and then he slams into a tree and he's like, no, we're gonna go in reverse. I used to be a derby driver.
So would you say it was a bold strategy?
Hey, if it works, it works, and obviously you did something right there. Oh shoot, we're going under. We're going under. I don't know how you did that. Oh! There you go. Sideways down the. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everybody watch out! Everybody watch out!
Good line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you listen close there, I don't know if you heard it, but Colt was on camera crew, and anytime somebody about dies, he starts barrel laughing like a crazed gorilla, and you can hear him in the background just laughing his head off. And that means we almost died several times right there.
That's the indicator. I know that last one was the one I was worried about the most.
Oh yeah, we got crossed up. I thought we were gonna flip at least 5 times when you were coming backwards on that thing.
So remember, kids, if you ever lose your steering, just drive backwards.
All right, we are at the bottom of the trail. We've just got done with the versus portion of this.
We'll find out the time of those 2 vehicles in a minute, but now you've got to take this one and put it on our board of boards.
Yeah, to be compared to every other person that goes up this trail. So I'm going to try to lay down a decent number without hurting the old girl, because she's kind of a pavement princess. So we just got done with the verses. I was able to run the Morrvair up the trail. I didn't do so good on my numbers, but I did really good on action, I feel like.
You did awesome. Just making it up that trail in one piece without breaking? You should feel proud.
I do. I feel proud. I still got a little bit of adrenaline high going on here. So a lot of you know about BleepinJeep and his channel. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's a cool channel. But he's starting another one called BleepinJeep VERSUS, and it has this kind of content where you get to see drivers test their skill in less than adequate vehicles and then test their skill in pretty adequate vehicles. Anyway.
We're going to give you guys the opportunity to come about 4 times a year. Come out. All those guys that say, oh, I could do that in my Corolla. Come on out, we'll do it.
So if you'd like to see the times that I laid down compared to what other people have laid down, you're gonna have to go to
BleepinJeep VERSUS.
All right, so Bleepin' Matt, thank you so much for joining this chat and talking about this video, and especially for inviting us on this BleepinJeep VERSUS. That's just been a lot of fun. I'm coming back as many times as you invite me. I'm gonna be there.
I would love to have you back, and the Banana and the Wrecker, and I look forward to seeing your next time on our board.
I can do better.
High five.
I want you guys to appreciate this. I'm 6'1", 260 pounds. And
My
this
little
is
buddy.
Colt.
He's just a little baby.
Take me down the mountain.
Sure, little buddy.
Oh, keep doing that. That's nice.